Oh, the infernal minions. They have served me quite well over the time, gathering me absolutely nothing. They suck. I hate them all. They are completely worthless. But I have at last obtained the Frost Wisp that I wanted. Frost Wisp. Look at it. Level 91, 146,000 kills, and a Dwarf Turtle Shell. But how exactly did I get this Frost Wisp? It's 160 million coins. It's worth more money than I've ever had at one point in my entirety of playing Skyblock. How did I just suddenly get one and then get 140,000 kills? Well, I'll tell you. So it all started a couple weeks back when I once noticed that the price of an Ender Dragon pet was 192 million, which was news to me because I thought it was like 310 or something. I don't know what exactly happened or when this happened. I don't really pay attention to this sort of thing, but I realized that and I was like, I could totally get that if I just sold a couple of items. And by a couple, I mean a lot of very important items. You'll see what I mean. So back then, I was still very into Enderman Slayer, and of course still am. However, I thought getting the Ender Dragon pet would be an incredible damage boost. So why don't I just do that? So I sold my drill, I sold my battle pet, I sold a bunch of other things that I can't really remember, and just scrounged up all the money I could possibly muster, and came up 80 million coins short. So I wasn't exactly sure what to do about that, until I noticed a funny item in my 8th slot. Yeah, the overflux with that juicy 84 million coins price tag was like 80 back then, but my point still totally stands. I realized that if I really wanted this Ender Dragon pet, I'd have to get rid of that overflux, which I really didn't want to do, but I mean, that 200% damage does go really, really nice with my Atom Slit Katana, as well as the 50 strength and crit damage. So I decided to say goodbye to my overflux, which had served me incomprehensibly well for the 2 weeks that I had it for, and bought the Ender Dragon pet. And it did everything it was supposed to do. It was entirely perfect. It gave me incredible amounts of damage. The damage I dealt to Void Glooms was going down faster than you could say the words Ender Dragon pet. The only small problem was that my health was going down at even faster rates. Because without the Overflux's healing and the Enderman's resistance, my hearts were going away at an insanely fast rate. Not even a mana flux could quell the wrath of the tier 3 Void Gloom. So I realized that maybe it wasn't the greatest investment of my life. So I sold it and got all my money back promptly and now had 200 million coins. And I was now rolling in cash. So I was on a call with my friends right about here, going to my museum. I noticed that a Frost Wisp pet, aka the pet that I've been trying to get for an incredibly long period of time, was 106 million. And it had 140,000 kills and was level 89. The going rate of those pets at the moment was 160 million coins. That pet was probably worth about 200 million coins. And I thought to myself, so I could just buy this Frost Wisp pet for like half of its actual worth, and then be able to do Blaze Slayer. Let's just say my fingers haven't moved that fast in a very, very long time. Regardless, the Frost Wisp is now mine, and I've leveled it up a tiny little bit, not really been particularly worth doing. In addition to that, as I'm sure you probably noticed, I now have a Warning Flare, because that 10-2 defense is actually pretty good, and so is that 10 vitality. Another thing you might have noticed is that I bought the Gas Cloak for that extra juicy 1% healing, as well as giving me the full Vanquisher set, which makes me essentially much more powerful and damaging on the Crimson Isles. And the Blaze Slayer is actually on the Crimson Isles. I don't know if you knew this. So everything was going according to plan. I thought nothing could stop me. I even stopped using Sorrow Armor for like the 99% of the fight until the very end of the fight, when I would use Sorrow Leggings. I don't even use a Sorrow chestplate. I use my full Crimson armor anyways. So things were going totally well with tier 2s. I was doing tier 2s easily with an incredibly high success rate, so I figured I'd try a tier 3. But the thing about the tier 3 is that it has 60 million health. That is a 6 followed by a 0 followed by a couple more zeros. And my daggers only deal like 35 damage. I attempted to put Cold Fused on them for that extra crit damage and strength, since, well, the Wisp pet makes me immortal to Blaze's at all times. I could go AFK for like 10 minutes and come back and have like gained health. Tier 2 blazes are trivial to beat now. They do not stand a remote chance against. And neither do the tier 3s. I could go AFK with no Sar armor on during those things too, but the thing is they only have 5 minutes to kill them, so when I hit like demon split, they just decide to say goodbye and then leave. So I've essentially just added like 5 levels of carpal tunnel to my hand for absolutely nothing. So sadly, I have not been able to kill a tier 3 due to this fact. So I tried things to get my damage up. I purchased some more things. I starred my Vanquish set. I added more stars to my Crimson armor. I mean, the Kudra update came out a couple days ago, so, you know, I could get more Crimson Essence at a rapid pace, and I've actually been gathering Kudra teeth. Look at my Nether stars, 32 Nether stars. Before the Kudra update came out, I had like 6. And I also have a lot of heavy pearls. Regardless, there was not really anything major I could buy. I did buy Smoldering for both of these and then dropped another Smoldering book and put it on this one, and that's only 6% and 3% respectively more damage. And Cold Fuse definitely helps a lot, although Fabled is better. Thing about Fabled is that I have to use Sorrow Armor, and using Sorrow Armor makes me deal less damage, so Cold Fuse is technically better for my situation. Regardless, the only thing I could see to increase my damage to an actual somewhat respectable amount was reaching Blaze Slayer level 4 doing tier 2s, which would take an incredibly long time. Like a really, really long time. That's why I haven't uploaded a skyblock video in like 2 or 3 weeks. Luckily, our good friend Aatrox has decided to make a very, very last minute appearance, granting every single one of his perks to help me on my quest. And at long last, I finally hit Blaze 4. And oh my god, my right index finger is praising RNGesus right now. Anyways, here's the clip. Blaze Slayer level 4. The tier 2 daggers are finally mine. Oh my god. Click to collect rewards. Yes! They're mine! Oh, and 50 skyblock XP. I won't say no. And now on to Blaze Slayer level 5. So yeah, I can finally make the tier 2 daggers and finally make my damage somewhat respectable. Bro, these things deal like 110 damage and they've got like sharpness and potato books and 2 whole magic find. 2 magic find, guys. That's like incredible. Absolutely crazy. I mean, I was so desperate I even got a Sword of Bad Health to boost my damage, and I use it actively. It's soulbound. It's in my museum. This thing is actually like incredible. I don't know why everyone hates on it so much. It actually is incredible. It's just a free 100 strength at all times for an extra right click. Regardless, these things can finally become respectable, and I am so excited. Oh my god, you have no idea how long this has taken. So let's go to the bazaar and buy the stuff. So opening up the crafting grid, as I have so many times in the past, let's stick this Cold Fused Twilight Dagger in here, half the Molten Powder, and the Sulfur Cube in, and that makes the Cold Fused Modredge Dagger, giving us 10 attack speed, another Gemstone slot, and also a rarity upgrade. Please tell me these things are somewhat better than their predecessors. I'm really hoping so. And of course, the main thing is the damage to blazes has gone from this pathetic 1.5 to 2.5, which is going to make a lot of a difference. Boop. And of course, we cannot forget about our good friend, the Cold Fused Fire Dust Dagger, which is incredibly bad, actually. It only deals 1.2 damage to blazes. However, we can buff that up to 1.5, which is literally the same damage as this thing's predecessor, for the small cost of an arm and a leg. But it's fine, because now it's also gaining the same stats as the previous one, and now it is mine. Look at them. They look exactly the same. They are completely identical, but in the GUI they look a lot better. Let's test these good friends out and see exactly how good or bad they are. Alright, so here I am at the entrance to the regular old Blaze room. Before this, I was dealing about 30, 40k damage without the grapple shot thingy. So hopefully it's somewhat better now. Let's see. 99! 105! That's better than my Livid Dagger! Oh my god, that's better than my Livid Dagger! Wait. Oh my god. That is so much better! Wait, it does like 9 million damage! Oh my god. 200k. This is so worth it. Oh my god, dude, with the sort of bad health, it's like even better. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, this is like revolutionary. I am killing these things in record time, and now I can finally use the daggers that I spent so much money on. I bought cold fused for these things, two cold fused into Frostwisp, and now my investments are finally paying off. So let's try these things out against a real challenge. That, of course, being Tier 3 Infernal Demonlord. So I'll get back to you guys when I've got all the kills necessary to spawn it in. Alright, here I am after having spawned in almost enough kills, so I'm about to grab my Smoldering Blaze, spawn in the Tier 3, and see what happens. So let's get to work. Flare down. Already going faster than it used to. Is it enough? Or will it end in failure? I'm not so sure. Demon split? Yes, indeed. Ah, yeah, Quasi has this funny circle laser thingy now. Makes him slightly dangerous. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be enough. I might need like a warden helmet or something, which is lovely because I forsook it and sold it all that time ago. Oh my god, yeah, like a warden helmet would be perfect in this situation. A warden helmet would solve all my problems. 16, can I make a fast demon split? At the very least? Yay! I did it! Ah, okay, that is insanely better than it used to be. I used to make it like a million damage per mob on Demon Split, and now I made it past Demon Split. So it is very abundantly clear that these daggers are worth every last coin I spent on them. However, if you couldn't already tell, it's very clear that I will need some boost of damage in order to actually finish them off. And I think I know just the thing. Warden Helmet is an exceedingly good helmet and is widely known as the most damaging helmet in the game of hypixel skyblock. It's also one of the most expensive helmets in hypixel skyblock at a whopping 142 million coins. The heart itself being 98 million coins, basically 99. And if you take a look at my purse, I've got 1.3 million. Yes, I did buy a couple other things as this section of the video is being filmed a couple days later. However, my point still stands. So anyways, with Aatrox being mayor, of course, I decided to take him up on the offer of Pathfinder and do some revenants, and also place down these guys. 8 iron minions. Tier 8, each one of them, to get me the iron needed to make a warden helmet. And they're working diligently. They've got a couple iron in here, although I'm gonna need a couple more. And I also bought some red sand minions. They're actually better for money than snow minions, apparently. So after doing about 200,000 XP worth of revenants and not getting a warden heart, which is crazy, it's almost like it's an ROG's incarnate drop and is almost impossible to get and take the millions, and I've already gotten one. Anyways, after doing revs, not getting a warden heart, I decided to change my strategy to a different armor piece or item or something that would increase my damage by a meaningful amount. And I'm doing this with the knowledge that the tier 3 blaze deals about 0 damage to me, so I have plenty of room to sacrifice health and healing in exchange for damage before actually risking losing too much EHP. So what armor pieces are there that increase my damage by a lot? Well, obviously, your first choice would be greetings, good sir. Can I interest you in some tuxedos? Head downstairs, my associate will tell you all about them. Sounds good to me. Hello, Seymour. I am looking to buy something fancy. You sell fancy suits? How much? 1 million coins for 100 crit damage here. Okay, I mean, maybe I can afford it, but is it worth it? 11 million coins for 150 crit damage. I mean, it's like, okay, I guess, but is it really, really worth it? 35 million coins for 200 crit damage. Now, that's pretty good, although 35 million coins is definitely not something I have here. Think your suits are a bit too expensive, Seymour. Lucky for me, however, you are not the only person who happens to be selling tuxedos. The auction master over here, this lovely gentleman, happens to be selling tuxedos as well. And he happens to be selling quite a few, for that matter. Okay, so they're selling one. Never mind, I was in fact lying. However, it is certainly a purchasable option here. But wait, I only have 1 million coins. How will I ever manage to gather the funds to do this? Well, if you were paying a keen eye throughout this recording, something has gone missing here. Two things have, in fact. I've already said there's a little bit of room for healing, so, bada bing bada boom. I now have the funds to purchase the fancy tuxedo chestplate. Alright, I'm gonna buy it in 3, 2, 1.
But wait, Abria 1.
Huh? Who's that? Oh my god.
It is I, Mr. Blobfish Hatman. I must warn you, do not buy the tuxedo chestplate.
But why? It's so good.
The Berserker chestplate is way better.
Really? What the heck? Where'd he go? The Blobfish Man does not lie. According to actual stats, if we compare them real quick, you'll see the Elegant Tuxedo gives 100 crit damage, which is pretty good. But the Berserker Chestplate gives 60 crit damage, but also 60 strength, and also has a gemstone slot, which in the long run does make it do more damage. Although the only drawback is that it's epic and doesn't give the intelligence. However, we're not looking for intelligence, because when do you use intelligence in this fight? You don't use intelligence, it's not a thing. So for pure damage, which is what I'm after here, the Berserker Chestplate is actually better. Which is kind of weird, to be honest, but I won't complain. It's less money. So let's open up my chest. I've got my burning eyes and my magma chunks right over here. And all that's missing is my red sand. So let's open up the bazaar real quick. Sand, red sand cubes. I'm gonna need 5. That'll be 5.7 million coins. That's kind of a sort of a lot, but it's okay because I can afford it, I guess. Anyways, of course, the countdown as usual. 3, 2, 1. Done. The work is done. So let's open up that grid and 20 magma chunks in each corner, 50 burning eyes in the center, and the rest of the red sand cubes, like so, makes the Berserker chestplate. 60 strength, 60 crit damage, and also a gemstone slot. It's really all that matters, honestly. 3, 2, 1. Look, those are really good attributes. Also, carpentry 24. Let's go. Skyblock level 116. However, of course, this chestplate looking like this, Berserker chestplate, just Berserker chestplate, not ancient Berserker chestplate. It's horrible. It's ugly. So let's fix that in 3, 2, 1. That looks way better, wouldn't you agree? It is by no means hypermaxed or anything, but I did spend all my money and did have to sell my reserves of enchanted red sand in order to actually even finish hypermaxing it in the first place. So, you know what? It's good enough. It gets the job done. So, without further ado, let's head over to the graveyard. Here I am in full crimson in the graveyard, so let's test it out in crimson armor. So with the regular old hit, I deal 210k there, 100k there, that's probably for the front, 216, and with the Berserker chestplate, lose a lot of health, however, 103, 213. Why do I feel like this is doing less damage? I have this sudden compelling urge to type /AH. There's only one thing that can see if this incredibly ugly looking chestplate is actually worth it or not, and that is against the blaze itself. So I shall be back at the Crimson Isles. Alright, this is gonna be it, looks like. We'll get to see if the Berserker chestplate was worth it or not. Not even a flare to put down. I'm doing this all wrong already. I'm off to a horrible start. Okay. Just absolutely horrendous start. It looks like I'm surviving though. Well, I'm kind of hurting it faster. 53k, that's more. And I've failed, clearly. But I will go to the very end. Let me go. Oh, I died. I gassed? Well, after a clear test run, it appears the Berserker armor was in fact not worth it. My entire plan has failed miserably, and I still have yet to kill a tier 3. However, it did show exceeding promise. I could probably have gotten it down to like maybe even the second split before it managed to, well, Actually, it didn't kill me. The gas killed me. My point still stands. However, with 2 pieces, it might still be possible, but at the moment, my purse is definitely not fit to be doing something like that. So I shall have to call the experiment quits for now and come back to it at a later date. Until then, if you enjoyed this tutorial on how not to kill a tier 3 infernal demon lord, then be sure to like and subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Goodbye.